And Argentina also won against Brazil.
Could not have made it without you. Hey.
And so is God a liar?
Could not have sailed through
Nyankopon kano krana.
you.
Ana mina minim.
Your loving kindness, grace, and mercy brought me through.
Because somebody predicted that Brazil will win and that it was the Spirit of God talking. Same person predicts that England will win. Is the Spirit of God talking?
Could not have made it without
Well.
you. Hey.
Maybe I can be your friend, Mr. Ibn Edu.
Without you.
And a baby will be a Michiao. Mate.
Papa, your loving kindness.
So I want to say phobia. And
Through so the essence of
shouting out to you, Chairman Adom of Adom Real Estates.
your grace, I love.
Chairman Adom of Adom City Real Estates. Good morning, sir. Have a great week. Yes, your song.
I do.
Adom
I do.
Ampa.
I do.
Yes, sir, Dinah.
I do. Lord, the essence of my praise
Is centered on your grace.
your grace, I do. You have been my doctor
Amen.
on that sick bed.
Adam.
By your stripes, I am healed. I am free. So the essence of my praise,
Yeah.
it's because of your grace.
Adam.
Hey.
Adam. Sing nice. Play twice. Anna Pay. Luca Health is back.
I don't look like what I have been through. You turned my pit into a well. So the essence of my praise is centered on your grace. Adum, Adum, Wadum. I've been through a lot, but grace sustained me. My test is now a testimony. So the essence of my praise is centered on you.
And shouting out to you, Mr. Stephen Odro, Managing Director of SIC. I know you're a fabulous man,
It was you,
but say we are sorry.
lawyer in
This morning we'll have a chat with Dr. Gorman.
soldier on that battlefield. So the
He's a cardiologist.
praise
Jessa Kumayara Hunsem,
centered on your grace. Adum,
a former army officer
Wadum,
in the United States Army.
Adumo,
It'll be interesting.
Yami, Adumo, Adum, Adumentina Metiasi.
And a shout out to you, Gladys Peggy Odonko. Happy 60th birthday to you. Yesterday was yours. Happy retirement and a blessed belated birthday wish to you, Gladys Peggy Odonko, aka Mama G, the General of Absa Bank. 40 years of dedicated service to Absa Bank. And the crew says we'll miss you. It's from Anoa, Erica, and the entire Prestige team. And this one also says a glorious happy birthday to my one and only dear wife, Mrs. Barbara Blankson of SIC Life Company Limited. It's from John Bates Blankson of the Ghana National Gas Company to you. Happy birthday to you, Adeline Yvette Okain. Enjoy your birthday, Adeline Yvette Okain, from your siblings Gerald, Henry, and Jeanette. We love you.
You made a way. You turned my morning into dancing. It is you and just your praise.
And welcome to old age. Happy 40th birthday to you. It says, to the love of my life and my fine, bold gentleman. Happy 40th birthday, Aaron Poku Apia of Absa Bank Card Operations.
Your loving kindness,
May your day be blessed.
mercy,
Enjoy your day.
me through.
Love you so much from your darling wife, Annabelle, and your children, Nana, Ohima, and Berma. God bless you, they say.
I do.
Mrs. Theodi Adodankwe Siedu of NIA, happy birthday to you, number 30. It's from your daughters, Papebi and Minaye. Your dear husband, squadron leader, is Siedu. And your darling mom, Mami Oye Besmak, to you, Theodi. Have a good one. And to you, Belita Dokucheche of Star of Sun. Is that what it is? It's from your parents. And to Robert Jimfi of NCA Insurance. It's from your wife and children to you. Auntie Wendy Thelma Sampson. Happy birthday to you, Auntie Wendy Thelma Sampson of Nursing and Midwifery Training College in Cape Coast. It's from Janelle Baba Aseda Sampson and Kwekwa Mankwa Sampson of Happy Angel School in Kaswa.
You have been my doctor on that sick bed. By your stripes, I am healed.
To you, Mr. Ebenezer Edu. I love you, big bro. Madam Joyce is Siedu. Kanishin Old Skyway Hotel. Happy birthday to you, Madam Joyce is Siedu from Selassie and Mami Kunedu. Yamin Shirabi Bre. And DO2 Kwesi Dazi of the Ghana National Fire Service Legon branch. Happy birthday to you. DO2 Kwesi Dazi, Ghana National Fire Service Legon. Happy birthday to you from your brother Alahe. Onyame Donima. Akwesi Jating marching. A belated birthday wish to you, Mr. Daniel Kwame Buje, General Manager PMMC. It's from Iron Man and the entire family to you. To you, Mr. Yao Ajimandria, former managing director of Goyle, happy 70th birthday to you. The big 7-0 is here to you, Mr. Yao Ajimandria, former MD of Goyle, from your dear wife, Mrs. Georgette Ajimandria, and all your children. Wish you well. And one to you, Reverend Kwabena Yeboah Minta. Happy birthday, Reverend Kwabena Yeboah Minta of St. Andrew Presbyterian Church in Tesano. It's from your adorable wife, Cynthia, your children, Nanekuya, Jill, Efiania, Papa Nyamishrawu. And happy birthday, number 83. To the godfather of GTV, Uncle George Peters, former deputy director of Ghana Television. Uncle George Peters, happy birthday, number 83. God continue to richly bless you. It's from Moses Japon, Fred Kwame Ajiman, and from me as well to you, Uncle George. Bless you. And then also one to you, Mr. FK Anfo of Hacho. Happy birthday, Mr. FK Anfo, from your entire family and the children and grandchildren. Reverend Mrs. Mary Annan of Exhibition Assemblies of God Church. Happy birthday from Reverend Annan Jr., Adeline, Royal, and Kofi. And while you're it's your birthday, enjoy. A belated birthday wish you, Ivy Queenie Na George of iZone Limited. Hope you had a great birthday, Ivy Queenie, now George of iZone. Yeah. And a happy birthday wish you, Benis Fusua Dia and Michael Inkum Dia. Enjoy your birthday, Benis Fusua Dia and Michael Inkum Dia of Atraco Demonstration School. Yeah, bonjour, Dr. Gorman, ready to come on. Wishing Mrs. Veronica Ayiku of Love Community Chapel happy birthday, Mrs. Veronica Ayiku. It's from Ben Agbe to you. Good morning to you, Soti. And a very good morning to Mr. Patrick Nyakon, Corporate Affairs Director of GateSdeck. It's from Michael Jojoji to you. Ampa. Yeah. And to you, Samuel Sly of Cantamanto. Gordon Asari Bediako, Memoachiano Pay, Oneye Mami, Antibi. Antibi Wonkwaso, Madame Beatrice Boahima, Yetafro Antibi. Yesterday was birthday number 75. And Auntie B says a very big thank you to Vice President Dr. Mahamadou Baumia. To you, Abdul Malik Kwekubako, Anas Arimi Yao Anas. To you, Olivia Korte, Samuel Uku Fati Abubakar, and Munina Mobai. Auntie B Damasio. Auntie B Unkwasu. Dr. Gorman is here. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
You're a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army.
Yes.
So why did you leave?
Well, I was in the military for a number of years, and I recently relocated to Ghana, my wife and I. I previously served as a medical officer in the military, as a lieutenant colonel, after which I practiced medicine in Savannah, Georgia, my wife's hometown. I was in private practice. In addition, I was a cardiovascular specialist there. So we decided to come to Ghana after initially coming in 2018. We fell in love with the country and the people, so we wanted to make a difference, and we're here now as part of the Luca Health family.
Welcome home.
Thank you, sir. It's glad to be home.
Welcome home. Now, after 30 years of experience in the medical field, you have come here to, as you said, help with your expertise. You're a cardiovascular disease specialist. What do you treat?
Okay. There are a number of conditions that falls under the umbrella of cardiovascular diseases, specifically hypertension or high blood pressure, heart failure when the heart doesn't squeeze well, stroke, of course, which is a big thing. We also treat cholesterol issues and something called arrhythmias. And arrhythmias are abnormal heartbeats. So those are the main focuses that I deal with as a cardiovascular specialist.
Now, how true is it that hypertension is predominant in black men more than any other? Is it true?
Yes, sir, it is true.
Why is that?
Well, studies have shown that we tend to have what's called primary hypertension, and a lot of it is primary, which means that it's genetic. But in addition to that, there are other causes that sort of related to that, specifically things such as our diet, things that we eat, sodium, if you eat a lot of sodium, obesity. If you're obese, that increases your risk for developing high blood pressure. Lack of exercise, that's another reason for that. Smoking is a reason for elevated blood pressures and cholesterol. So those are a number of factors, but mainly genetics.
I see. Mainly genetics. Now, quite interestingly, we normally would associate high blood pressure, strokes, high cholesterol, heart attacks with much older people. But you have younger people as well, much younger, 28, 25, very healthy, and then all of a sudden they have a heart attack.
That is correct. Yes, sir.
How is that possible?
Well, again, genetics plays a role. It plays a big role. To give you a perfect example, as I mentioned, I was in the military, and the majority of my my constituents or patients were young people. However, I did see a significant number of heart problems in these people, and the major roles that were played in them was the family history, where their father or their grandfather or mothers had a history of heart disease, and it was passed down to them. But in addition to that, they were doing things from a lifestyle standpoint that contributed to these cardiovascular conditions, i.e., eating a lot of sodium, eating the bad foods that we call it, not eating a lot of fruits. Sometimes if you're not active, if you're not exercising on a regular basis, that can increase your blood pressure as well. So again, there are lifestyle changes that plays a significant role, but the main thing again is the genetic portion.
Interestingly, main thing is genetic. We've heard stories of footballers collapsing on the field of play and just literally dropping dead. Someone says his 28-year-old nephew was in the gym,
Right.
actually, training as we call it, and just had a heart attack. We've had an unfortunate incident in this country of our own former vice president who was in a gym, collapsed and died shortly afterwards. So at that point, if you emphasize exercise, how come such people have a heart attack and drop dead?
Okay. But that's a good question. When I speak of exercise with respect to doing things on a regular basis, exercising, for instance, 15 to 20 minutes per week. And it's not uncommon for a person to exercise and have an issue of falling dead. However, you have to know the circumstances that led to that. It could be that the person had an abnormal heart, a thick muscle of the heart. Sometimes patients present like that, and unfortunately, the first manifestation can be dying. Typically, when we recommend exercise, these are patients who we have seen or a provider has evaluated, and you sort of know their history. You've listened to those patients. You know whether or not they have abnormalities on exam, and you have a diagnosis, and you recommend an exercise program. So that's when we talk about exercise, that's what we mean. Typically patients that we know and we have a relationship with. However, when we mention exercise, again, we talk about moving, where you don't have to necessarily be running or playing basketball, but just moving and just getting your heart rate up a little bit.
So walking is good?
Walking is very good.
It looks
yes.
like these days, especially in Ghana, there are a lot of people who are very strong on walking. And what would you say is the ideal pace, ideal distance, ideal time? Because some brag about having done a 2-hour walk, a 20-kilometer walk. What's the ideal?
Okay. Well, for each individual, it varies. It depends on your age and your underlying condition. I typically will tell my patients, exercise for about 15 or 20 minutes at your pace, i.e. if you started experiencing symptoms of shortness of breath or you're becoming winded, then I would tell you to slow down. But most of the time, in general, we would recommend 15 to 20 minutes, 3 to 5 days per week of exercise.
15 to 20 minutes, 3 to 5 days per week
Yes,
of
sir.
exercise. So we don't necessarily have to do, 2 hours, 1 hour, one and a half hours?
No, you don't. What we try and do is we try and get the heart rate up to a certain level. And as a cardiologist, typically when we exercise a person, we look at what's called the percentage heart rate. And for those who would like to know their percentage heart rate, we take the number 220 and we subtract their age, and we multiply that by 70%. And that's saying that you've had a good exercise workout. So 70 to 75% of that heart rate. Well, and again, it depends on your age. So that's a good exercise regimen. Again, as long as you're not having or don't have a significant heart issue. or a medical issue, such as lung issues and things like that. But I also tell patients that if they want to start an exercise program, especially a rigorous exercise program, consult your medical provider. That way he or she can know your medical condition, and if need be, perform testing. Thereby, you can be prescribed an appropriate exercise regimen.
In case you just tuned in this morning, we're doing the usual talk from Luca Health Medical Specialty Center. This morning, we have Dr. Gorman. He's a cardiologist and a cardiovascular disease specialist with over 30 years experience. Now, Dr. Gorman, there are some myths in Ghana surrounding heart conditions that we know that young people need not worry about heart disease. People should avoid exercise if they have a heart disease. Heart disease runs in the family, so there's nothing anybody can do to stop it. In your medical opinion, how true are these assertions?
I disagree with that to a certain extent. Although young people, with respect to risk, the risk is lower in young people. However, as I mentioned before, young people also can have coronary disease. To give you a perfect example, studies have shown that coronary disease actually began in early childhood. Studies have shown that kids can have what we call fatty streaks in the arteries at the age of 10. Now,
at the age of 10?
At the age of 10, yes, sir. However, in most cases, it doesn't progress at a fast rate. Things that cause it to progress more are bad lifestyle choices, i.e. smoking, elevated cholesterol, diabetes, uncontrolled high blood pressure. So, again, we tell young people to do the right thing. Don't go out and eat pizza all the time. Try and exercise. Monitor your blood pressure. Monitor your cholesterol. So whether you and especially if you have a family history, that increases your risk. If you have a family history of heart disease. So again, we recommend that you do the right things and try to live what we call a healthy lifestyle, a hearty lifestyle.
Now, somebody has a heart problem and knows about it. What will be some of the recommendations on how they live? And somebody has a heart problem and doesn't know, so they really don't know. So what do they do?
Right.
What will be your advice?
Okay. For the person with the heart problem, and I assume that you mentioned that they know it and they have a provider, then they should be prescribed a regimen of management, be it medication, exercise, control of cholesterol, control of diabetes, and again, back to this exercise. And the reason I'm really hampering on this exercise correctly, if you have a correct regimen, is because exercise actually helps the heart. It helps the heart pump. It lowers the blood pressure. It helps diabetes. But again, you have to be prescribed the right exercise regimen. So the person with the heart problem should be under the care of a provider. In addition, it should be managed appropriately. For the person who does not have a heart problem but doesn't know that he or she has a heart problem, then what I tend to recommend is if they have a provider, then that provider will assess what they call the cardiovascular risk. And all that is saying is we look at a number of things. We look at your family history, we look at your blood pressure, we look at your cholesterol, and we look at your sugars to see if you're diabetic, and we assign a number to that. Let's say that your probability of having heart disease in 10 years could be 5% or 10%. And based on that number, if it's less than 2%, we say, okay, let's do the right thing. Let's exercise. If it's in the intermediate range, above 5%, up to maybe 10, 15%, we say, okay, let's try to be a progressive and be proactive. Let's try to prevent things bad from happening. We tell you to exercise. We tell you to eat right. We tell you not to smoke and do things sort of like that. So we try to be proactive and prevent things in most cases in a person who we feel have not been diagnosed with heart disease.
Dr. Gorman, you're here from the U.S. You've joined Luca Health. What is so special about what you're coming to do that we all need to troop or make a beeline to your office at Luca Health?
Okay. My practice in cardiovascular disease employs a number of tools that we can use to manage and diagnose heart disease. For instance, the EKG or ECG or electrocardiogram, they're all the same. essentially what we do is we look at a heart rhythm. And to expand on that, I also have the tool of monitoring. So let's say that a person has an abnormal heartbeat, but they don't have it on a daily basis. We can place a monitor, and this is a prolonged EKG that we can use, and we can assess that and interpret that. In addition to those tools, we have ultrasounds. An ultrasound is a tool. It's non-invasive, where you don't have to have a needle inserted in you, and we can actually look inside of the heart, look at structures of the heart, see whether or not there's fluid around the heart. There's another tool we use is a stress test or exercise stress, where we can monitor patients' blood pressure, their EKG, and their exercise level, and we can diagnose certain conditions. So those are unique tools that I offer at Luca Health, and that will help us manage and treat patients with cardiovascular diseases.
Somebody wants you to explain again this 220 minus age 70%. Can you explain it again?
Yes, sir. So let's say that a person is 50 years old.
Okay. Yeah.
So you subtract 50 from 220, that's 170.
Yeah.
And then you multiply that 170 by 70%. And I used to could do this in my head, but it's approximately, let's say approximately 120, 125. So that is the target heart rate that you're trying to reach. And that's what we use on a treadmill stress test. When a person reaches a target heart rate based on their age, that says that you have really exercised the heart to a significant level. And typically, if you see issues, it's at that target heart rate. So we try and get the target heart rate up to about 70 to 75% to exercise. That's saying that you've had a very good heart workout from a cardiac standpoint.
Well, interesting, Kobe. I hope your question has been answered. And somebody's looking for you. Somebody's looking for Luca Health.
Yes, sir.
Where would we find Dr. Gorman? Where would we find Luca Health?
You would find Dr. Gorman and Luca Health and at 27 Mazaru Road, and that's East Lagoon, Accra. And the phone number is 054-412-0777. And I work exclusively at Luca Health.
So if we're looking for you, 054-412-0777.
Correct.
Thanks for your time this morning. I'm sure we'll make a date again.
Thank you for having me this morning.
Dr. Gorman is a cardiovascular specialist. So you can reach out to him at Luca Health, and I'm sure all your wahala will be resolved.
FM.
Over Satan power, 'cause I ain't good more. I'm an overcomer. Yes, we're doing good more. Over Satan power, 'cause I ain't good more. See, I'm an overcomer. 'Cause say yes, we're doing good. Yes, we're doing good. Power. I'm an overcomer. I say yes, wedding kunimo. Yes, wedding kunimo. Over Satan power.
Ayedin kunim. Kwabna Asante Intim. Happy birthday to you, Kwabna Asante Intim. Best wishes from your mother, Yada Kwa Amoa in team of Snit Aguna Swedro, and your father, Kwame in team of Airport Company Accra, and Grandpa ACP KK Amoa.
Jesus Nurbano. I mean, I won't born
And this one says a belated wish to a fine gentleman. Happy birthday, though the wish is belated to you, Robert Esando, First National Bank Ghana. To you, Mr. Robert Esando from UGBS 2000 and Club 2000 members and executives. Another belated one to a talented and inspiring young man, Kokrokoo. It's from your parents, Opening Tre and Mama Ruth. And from your siblings, Belinda, Quedro, Gloria, and Frank.
See, I'm an overcomer.
Baby.
Listen, no weapon fashioned against.
And it says, Jennifer, you're 17 years old today. Lady Jennifer Uchia, a.k.a. I'll leave that one out. Lady Jennifer Uchia of Benum Presby Senior High School. Happy birthday from your friends Mabel, Mavis, Beatrice, and our brand here partner, Naya Foster. And to you, Anna Yakoko Amewuda. Happy birthday to you, Anna Yakoko Amewuda of Adom Creative Designs at Dobro and Pakronia and Swam. It's from all your apprentices to you. God richly bless you. Ifwa Inkunim Ohenewa Ofei, happy birthday to you. You're 8 years old. Ifwa Inkunim Ohenewa Ofei of Hope Mary School, Amasama Fisa. It's from your parents, Edith and Bright. A belated one to Evelyn and No. It's from George Lathbridge and Raphael Kpakpo Akwe. Mama Joyce is Siedu, aka Happy Yourself, of Kanishi Presby Women's Fellowship. Happy birthday to you, Mama Joyce is Siedu. It's from Kakra Dansu to you. And a belated one to you, Priscilla Nyakwa of Enum Presby. It's from your siblings, Bright, Kakra, Penying, and Ama. Another belated one to you, Frank Osei Jima, aka Lampard, aka Losty, of Methodist University.
I am for Hinarba. Hey, Jesus Narbano. Wamyan to Hosanna. Hey, I am for Hinarba. Handkerchief. Wamyan to Hosanna. I am for Hinarba. Jesus Narbano.
And so the Ghana Jobs Fair 2021 Hybrid Edition
Wamyan to Hosanna.
is coming up.
To the King.
Anope and Marigold. Marigold Jimfi Donfair, technical advisor, Ghanaian German Center of GIZ and GIZ. Because Marigold is saying, Boko dear. Now, I didn't Ghanaian German Center for Jobs, Migration and Reintegration. I think. Yeah,
Ghanaian German Center for Jobs, Migration and Reintegration. Jumakubi a shed GIZ Ghana. A year German a buying a Jumakua. Yene Ghana buying. Edin sawoso ewa dwumadia hodo bebre so e bi ne say ye boa ama opportunities for the unemployed youth ye omo a eni adwuma ye say ye nsano dwuma sua say ye ankrankra dwuma sua say ukura wa boarding card na say certificate na wo pa adwuma office adwuma ye afenso omo a ewa akwantu mu ye diaspora fo a won pese omo ba omochi ebetoa omodwumadie so wo Ghana anase ombebo atena se wo Ghana no Ghanaian German Center ehwe eboa safo ni nyina enonti ye dwumadie titiri a ye di ewo eho ebi eno no
Hey, na mo ye we nyina na still amafo se dwuma ni hoy.
Chairman enwanwa ye ni we nyina na me se enonti na ye to anamo a ye fa mafidie so e di board the rule e fa dwumadie ye di ewo Ghanaian German Center.
Ghanaian German Center for Jobs, Migration and Reintegration. Now, Ghana Job Fair 2021 Hybrid Edition. I know you there.
Medasi Bebre. One of your flagship programs na afibia. Akwenya ye de ma wona epe adwuma. Ene adwumaku ahodo a omo penkofo ene won aye adwuma no. Ghanaian German Center create a platform here. One epe adwuma e be share adwumaku a wɔn pɛ sɛ wɔn fa nkɔfoɔ na wɔn atumi anya wɔn ne wɔn ayɛ adwuma na afi yato din sɛ hybrid edition no ɛne sɛ kan no na yɛyɛ no physical event but corona therefore ya last year yɛnya esuahunu ɛyɛ no virtual na afi sɛnea nneɛma ɛkɔ no yɛyɛ no hybrid sɛnea ɛbɛyɛ a wɔnom a betumi aba no physical na am opportunity na afen so on e other regions so betumi participate because in time past no ye no physical na ye na Accra omo e wa Accra nko na benefit ye koye no Kumasi la 2019 omo e wo Kumasi ne Potem nko na benefit ye na so hybrid di e ba bia wo bia empo wa manone na opese wo nya adwuma wo Ghana wutumi participate virtually na onsa atumi aka ne wo hwehwe on the day.
Also, idea motaye into yentwen hybrid nance. I mean, bisa say niamoya betwem no ati saying den obi ka bring impact be na dia bring.
Me da say yeah atwem fi 2019 ebe do 2020 no. Enipa close to about 7,000 na edi won ho share say adwumadie mu. Yetimi afasa akwanya so ama enipa close to 400 adwuma. Omanya adwuma and then omutimi de omsesi ombo se omoye adwuma e wo various offices afen so ye showcase adwuma hodo close to 1,005 vacancies but who say me wo mu ne say wo hwe amanfo binum CVs na ade a omode apply ya omo antumi enya fi say enema omo CVs no antimi anton wo ama potential employers enu nti na ye de asi ye ne so say afi hybrid no ye ensakaye kakra ewom esen previous ones no say edu so amabie ensakaye ewom no akire
na sa fe ya babe when mo target specifically mo nkrophobia mo target say bia o was a certificate we ana o yes answer no adwuma we ana we titru ana we intini yes afa ya mam
me pacho ye dwumadie obia wo hi adwuma obia wo se wo certificate se wo ni certificate ye woni ma wo do bebre ma ebi ne se ne edi kai first target group ye graduates a omo wie school a omo pa adwuma enche ye nuan mu bi be wie omo national service omo nyina be di queue no so unemployed queue no so enu nti ye boa amasafo enso so atimi enya opportunity omo engage employers a omo betimi enya adwuma afenso wo a wo pese wankasa wo ye wankasa wa adwuma a broni be ka na entrepreneurs no eno so ye wakwanya e wo honom e ma on the day entity bebre ye de wo be fem ama wo hu se ampa won so wo betimi abie wa adwuma ama na tumi ayeye afenso wonom a e pese o musua nsanodwuma nsanodwuma sua so de wo hia certificate once ahode ne wo ho na se bi wadwe no so da ho no nsanodwuma bia opese osua no opportunity wo ho mawa eno so betimi engage ye betimi aboa say vocational technical skills ni nyina wo ho no masafa nti ubisamia meka se obia wo onkura bibi mu na opese oye bibi say ye office adwuma say ye nsanodwuma sua say ye wankasa opese wo ye wo adwuma safo ni nyina e wa kwanya so mbe participate in the fair.
Your friend the Ghanaian German Center for Jobs Migration and Reintegration and pay Marigold Jimfi Donfe or a technical advisor or Sa Centennial and nutrition como about Ghana Job Fair 2021 hybrid edition. Now Marigold, apart from say you can Ghanaian German you say Ghana and Germany. Na mpacho money when they say fair.
Me pacho Yene, the Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations, Labor Department, Esho and the Delegation of German Industry and Commerce, what Ghana high Trinity, I can AHK4, and the Deans House.
New one year, baby, a hybrid edition, and society be a bebem, BB, a background, BB, or any hubium, Chechimukaka.
That's it. Pacho
teach to someone babe online experiences near the now chechim
pacho you hybrid no HSF ebi beba physically ebi so beba on ebe connected online na insakra wo mu titi ni say previous years ni ye 1 day afi dey ye ni 3 days ne send esan so ehunu any feedback enya a free participants ho eno nti first 2 days no ye di CSC ye di boa job seekers na ama omatumi ehu how to put together a very good CV.
Okay.
Very good CV. After so preparing for job interviews. Obi kwa interviewer ni CV okay, but okwa ehu ene nyaman kitinkiti bi se na wafa ne ho na fade enko ye enti na first impression so de enya nim say it counts. Enti no ye be fa sa akonya a church safo yi ni nyina on the day first 2 days no. After so entrepreneurial training so be koso first 2 days no enti wo a wo pese wan kasa wo ye wadwuma anase wo kramu na enko yi a ye be share how to be resilient in this COVID period. Say be wadwuma ni betimi etunko enti niama bebre ni edigu akwemu first 2 days no. Say ne be ya on the third day the day a ye engage adwumaku ahodo omo vacancies na omo showcase omo exhibit no. Pese omo fan kofo no job seekers ne omo amabobo din na betime siesie omo CV no putting in very good shape wo present here yes adwumaku obi a obehfa wo CV no wo hu say ampa nipa we me pese me fa na adwumamu because ye CV na ton yen one package wo CV here say bi wo hu hye down koye attractive potential employer invite impo for an interview. First 2 days in the yes and then they chat for the third day no the omoni potential employers no edins awoso.
Interesting. Obi ka se otie opeso ko register. Obe register we hin e kwan ben so no be fa deadline wo ho. Chechemu
Pepacho job fair ye bohu de na free participation ye free and registration free ema ankrenkre bia o pese or participate anase adwumaku a wo vacancies a wo panipa ya she de training wo ma anase ye grooming wo mo a ya mo tete a on betumi a participate wafa wo mo adwumamu no your registration links no your Facebook page. Your Facebook page you know see simple any ye din na enam Ghanaian German Center enti ubo Facebook uko Facebook and now Google search and answer wabo Ghanaian German Center. Uko ho no my link no wo ho. Link back for job seekers wow and I say wow person participate either in entrepreneurial trainings and I say wo pay adwuma no. Link no wo ho ma wo na adwumakuo ahodo so a munya amfa montomo emebo ye dia no registration link no so wo ho so we ya abefo pa na wo pese wo kwa ye website so a ye website no so ye www.startfinder.de
www.startfinder.de
but the very simple ama ye Facebook page Ghanaian German Center afen so ye wo ye hotlines a ubetimi afre your hotline no 0559 687879
Pacho bosubium
0559 687879 ufre ya ye beje wo so na ye de wafem okwan ya ubetimi a participate na ne amedi twato ne say registration no ye bie ya che Nyame ya adoma ochina 11:59 p.m. na ye close. Enti deadline ye ochina anwumre. Enti wo a wonya register ye no akonya ne wo ho free na ya akopem ochina anwumre na ye close registration.
Empam chome mo bia bebisa me number no biom. O say 0559 687879. Pacho say 0559 687879. Upe juma open Sunday juma or certificate to your graduate. Upe akwanchere edifa sene obetru CVA prepare for job interviews. Anase upe juma kasampua. Oko Ghanaian German Center for Jobs, Migration and Reintegration. Umbetimi aboao. My go dem bi na beka na yewie.
Yo, near me can chat to se obia wo pe adwuma ana onkra bibi mu no e de ne hu be hyem ye twa ne tia se connect explore advance your career. Who connecting ne say wo ne adwumaku ahodo ne adesua ahodo ebekọ so no wo do ho ahyem na afei wo explore opportunities ye be showcase on the day. Na afei so wo advance your career wo ma the crowd no wo tu pon wo mu say ye wonsa no dwuma na e crowd wo tu pon ana say wo pebi no ana wo kra bi mu na enkoye na opese wo sesa wonsa no ana wo pe adwuma foforo a akonya no wo ho eye free eno ti e be sere se obi abeko Ghanaian German Center ye Facebook page na wako register eye ne kopem o chine nwumre na ye close registration.
Marigo dey that's no pay.
Messi dan wase.
Marigo Jemfi Donfe a technical advisor Ghanaian German Center for GTZ and Motene Kano na ye twa ye dwumedie no so no anope obi din krebi abremisi sia say UPSA University of Professional Studies Accra, UPSA traffic lights a woho, enyejuma na chaos abahono enafo. Na amama kai weekend ye twem obi di complaint bi brem say 48 Engineer Regiment enim ho. Soldier for no aka omo ho. Ama omo de ahoma atukwanum. Na ahoma na serve as a go slow I say speed check bi. Na ama traffic abaho as usual eba ya na man for start say boso jafo na chi ena mko bisai na Ghana ha nioma bi wo ho e mobo traffic lights na wo 48 Engineer Regiment ni mo amunam tashi kwan no na munim ni ameke e bia ba na akra mo na mu 2018 empacho muntio March 2018 and some commanding officer of 48 near friend Lieutenant Colonel appear. And not sure krata at the Koma urban roads 2018 March. Say yes, Remo. Traffic lights no way in Nimhono. And yet when a car bonipa, car busoja for car buskum collar, say Scooby or car buskum collar, Jadi 4, a mouth we see what trotrum. Yeah, 2018 March. And then commanding officer friend Lieutenant can appear at Chosa Kratano. At the common. If it is 2018, urban route 20 February 2021. And commanding officer also say a friend Lieutenant Colonel Infum or day reminder at the Sandy common from 2018 March. I a first letter Menfi. And 2021 February or cho reminder at the command urban roads was yes Remo. Kai kwa ne kunkrofo yes this year lo nipa abom kwa be for still from February o ma anya ho hwe na so jafo ne sesa nti no mo de ahoma na to kwan no nti ncheche mu wo ho no ye de to kwan no mu a urban roads faba o mu tutu fom o mo be traffic light. Sometimes it looks like the only thing we understand is aluta.
Peace FM.
Semitiasi. Radio. Happy birthday number 64 to you, Mr. Louis Jones Crawford, aka Mr. Software Director of New Page Chemist Zongo Lane. It's from your dear wife, Mrs. Monica Crawford, and your children. And to our very own Srabinos Achu Agbo, Chief Technician at Despite Media. It's from Team Kokrokoo to you, Srabinos Achu Agbo. Afaye now. Wishing my big sister, Mrs. Martha Opare Hammond, happy birthday number 55. Sister Martha, good drink one. Shouting out to you, Jojo Hammond of Calbank. Have a good day, bro. Elam Desawu. Enjoy your birthday, Elam Desawu, Deputy Executive Secretary of Primpag. And it says, please wish my beautiful... Well, it just says, my beautiful happy birthday to Mrs. Asante Jessica of Ashonman Estates. It's from Nana Kweku Manfi in Tema. Marianne Amma Babua Nyako in London. Enjoy your day. It's from Kweju Nyako to you.